Hello everyone, this is Callimara here, and no, it's not calamari. Welcome back to the channel, or if you're new to the pond, go ahead and take a dive. You might like it here. I'm sure you clicked on this video because you saw the title, and before you ask, no, nothing happened. This is a decision I made out of my own desire and best interests because the truth is, I'm so burnt out. So today I'd like to do a little heart-to-heart with you on some of my struggles lately that led up to me making this decision to step away from YouTube for a while. For this video, I will be trying my hand at more traditional media just for a change of pace and to start my journey of being more offline for a bit, I suppose. ArtX sent me their Oro 66 alcohol markers. It is a pastel palette with very soft, light colors, elegant and compact packaging, and dual tips for lining, coloring, and seamless blending. I've personally never used or owned coloring markers before because the only brand I knew about was Copic, which is notoriously expensive. I've always fancied the idea of them though, because I think traditional tools like these are what really makes one feel like a true artist. I will be using a 5 Media watercolor paper, and because I still don't have a pencil, I will be using my 2B Faber-Castell mechanical pencil refills, because I somehow still have the refills but not the actual pencil. Now, this was the piece that was supposed to be my speed draw for this video, but unfortunately, I messed up the recording pretty badly on OBS. It was screen recording instead of recording camera footage, so what I have is completely unusable. And I only noticed it after the piece was finished and I was about to move the recording to its own folder. I'm pretty upset about this, but on the bright side, I found a pencil. So I will take this drawing as my trial attempt and try again. However, this is one of the reasons why I desperately need a break, because I feel like I'm running on empty, and so I keep making stupid mistakes like this without noticing. Or, falling for phishing schemes and getting hacked. I've been doing YouTube for 5 years now, and during those 5 years, I've taken exactly 0 breaks. Even if I went on vacation, I was still working on videos, either drawing for videos, scripting for videos, or coordinating behind the scenes with people for videos. For a while, it wasn't an issue for me, so even if it was my main source of income, it never felt like a job. It was just an outlet for my creativity. But for the past 2 years, I went back to school to study medicine, and that's when things really started to pile on. Maybe it would have been more manageable if I were just a regular student, but as I've said before, I'm also class president and drafting the student council for the Faculty of Medicine. I'm also leading a research project, and I just finished competing in the National Science Olympics, and it was a lot. Most days, I feel like my attention is constantly divided. I can't focus completely on school because I have YouTube work I need to do, and when I'm doing YouTube work, I feel guilty because I should be studying or getting my assignments done. And I know most of you will probably tell me that real life comes first and I should focus on my education, but I'm paying my own way through college and YouTube is how I can afford it. That's also why I've been so reluctant to take a break from YouTube earlier, because without it, I have no income and I feel terrible having to rely on my family to support me again. And for those of you wanting to comment, just get a regular job. The minimum wage where I am is $400 a month, to put things into perspective. And that's for a full-time job. Part-time work only pays $100 to $300 a month because, as I've mentioned a lot of times before, our government is evil and equity or social support does not exist here. And even still, it poses the same issue as continuing to do YouTube does. It divides my attention and takes away my study time. It has come to a point now where I think I've finally stacked too much on my plate and something has to give. And knowing my uni life is only going to amp up in the next following months, I can't keep having it both ways. At least until things slow down again. So, for now, I have to say goodbye to YouTube, even if that means relying on my family again. And aside from all that, my creative endeavors for the past several years have been for YouTube to make an income to support myself and my family, and not just for me and my personal projects. Anything that doesn't directly contribute to the completion of a video gets pushed to the wayside. Heck, even my art Sona poses that you guys see, that's still an incomplete set because I haven't had time to complete the rest. So I just used what I had for my videos. I also want to take time to just do what I need to do to rebuild my channel identity properly. Not just half-finished, improvised pieces because I have to make a video because I need to make a video deadline or a sponsor obligation. And speaking of my art as well, I'm finding that I actually really enjoy traditional art. I think it's so soothing and therapeutic, and there is something a little bit challenging about not having that easy undo button to just take away a mistake. It really makes you think about what you're putting down on paper. Every stroke counts, and you can just be in the moment. I think markers are quickly becoming my new favorite medium at the moment, especially with these Art X alcohol markers. They look just like watercolors, but are much more forgiving when it comes to making mistakes and accuracy, I suppose. My only gripe with this current set is because it's so pastel and light, it is quite difficult to paint in darker complexions. Though I am doing the best I can, I'm still really pleased with how it's turning out, and drawing and coloring like this immediately makes me feel like a professional mangaka, which was one of my dreams I had growing up. And speaking of dreams as well, a lot of you have been asking for Wild Word, and the honest truth is, it has been one of those passion projects that gets pushed to the wayside because it is such a high cost, high effort content with minimal returns. And the reason I do it is purely because it's a passion project that I've always wanted to do. And unfortunately, not all passion projects pay. And lately, I haven't had much money or time to spare for its production. Plus, I've been trying to switch up the format for it too, to be more of an animatic instead of a narrated visual novel. And I've needed to learn to animate a bit to do that. So it was a whole process of starting over and learning things from scratch. For things like my passion projects, I always want to take my time and do it right. And moving forward, maybe my channel can be more about animations or animatics than things like commentary or speed paints. I do love them, but I feel like that has kind of run its course for me. I don't know yet, and it's something I'm eager to discover when I finally have the time to. Maybe I'll come back with a completely fresh perspective and a new direction to take my channel. And that's why for now, I have to say goodbye.